There's one realization that changed my life.
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. My biggest regret in life is living for other people, living up to their expectations, their approval, and their versions of success. In high school, I wanted to be cool so bad, I became a compulsive liar. The majority of things that came out of my mouth were untrue, to make me seem cooler than I was. I picked up drinking, smoking, other bad habits, and even financed a car I couldn't afford to try and impress those around me. I got into $50,000 of student debt, studying a degree I'd never use, and climbed the corporate ladder in a job I hated for 7 years, all because my parents and society told me that was the right thing to do, and I was too much of a coward to go against the grain and pursue something creative, a skill, a craft, or a job I genuinely enjoyed doing. We all have an inner voice that knows who we're meant to be, what feels right for us, and what doesn't. And mine was screaming that I was on the wrong path. But I spent years drowning it out because I was afraid of disappointing everyone else around me. Something magical happens when you start saying no to all of life's distractions and yes to all the opportunities and activities that make you feel alive. The stuff that genuinely feels like play to you, where you lose all track of time. You see, when you dream big and start being unapologetically yourself, you become a magnet for people who operate on higher frequencies that transcend the material plane. And suddenly, the right people, places, opportunities start finding you, without force, without ego, and without you pretending to be someone you're not. Once this critical unlock happens, you begin to see through all the bullshit that modern society propagates as normal. Happy hours, consumerism, mainstream television, social media, all distractions from you pursuing your higher self.
I realized that addictions and vices are simply symptoms of unfulfillment, scarcity, and pain.
And those powerful negative emotions are preyed upon by big corporations who profit from keeping you numb, obedient, and reliant, selling you temporary relief in the forms of pills and entertainment. So I got my body right, got my mind right, and realized my environment and mental programming was so toxic back home, I had to make some drastic changes.
2 years ago, I left my 9-to-5 job that was paying me 6 figures, bought a one-way ticket to Thailand, and decided to go all in on being a creative.
Growing my video business, training and fighting, making videos, and reconnecting with music.
I didn't do this to please others. I made a massive bet on myself.
And for the very first time, I have a sense of meaning and purpose that was lacking for most of my adult life. I stopped playing victim, being angry, and taking from the world, and replaced it by giving as much value as I could by uplifting others, surrounding myself with positive people who only use positive language. And I've since experienced the divine feelings of joy and abundance that everyone deserves to feel on a daily basis. This is what a life in alignment should feel like, but every person has their own way of getting there, and some people may not get there at all. They choose comfort because distraction is far easier than taking full and utter responsibility over your life.
Now, not being accepted is painful, but betraying yourself will hurt you more in the long run. Remember, no one is coming to save you. The life that you want isn't found, it's earned.